Love this podcast? Support this show through the Acast supporter feature. It's up to you how much you give, and there's no regular commitment. Just hit the link in the show description to support now.
Here we go. Hello everybody.
Morning.
It's morning, Thursday 9th of September. It's, what did I say I'm going to call it? The Hampshire Diaries now.
The travel diaries.
But this is the Freedom Day recording. It's Simon and Lorra. Episode 31 of Housel, husband and wife sentenced to life. And as you may have seen on our Instagrams and stuff, yesterday was Freedom Day. We got our results the night before, and we were allowed to go out, venture past the garden perimeters.
Yeah, I'm tired today.
Well, it is 5:59. You can hear the birds singing.
I didn't sleep very well.
No, I will explain why in a little while.
It's not what you think.
Nothing salacious.
Yeah.
She didn't not sleep well because of fun. Yesterday, Freedom Day, we were allowed to go out, and I think it's a good job we were allowed to go out because some funny things happened yesterday. We got up in the morning. Now, obviously, we already knew we were going to go out. I can't believe there's cars. I can't believe there's a car.
You know what they're doing? Oh no. Engineering.
Big van.
He's a
Dogger.
Yeah.
So, yeah, we were obviously ready to go out yesterday. But we get up in the morning, and where we'd normally record the podcast, we couldn't have recorded it because the next door neighbour, who, no disrespect, I don't mind people like this, but his garden looks like it's not been touched for a very long time. And he got his, is it called a Strimmer?
His big Strimmer, yeah.
Hedge cutter. He fired that up. They make a noise.
That was my sound effect, by the way.
Yeah, good. But I've noticed you doing a bit of that on these podcasts when I edit them. So he was giving it 6 note on the Strimmer, and your dad Dennis says to me, this is his annual trim.
His annual trim.
And he said it with that little bite, and I thought, aye.
You do an annual trim.
I do it more than annually.
Do you do it more regular than that?
Yeah. Wish hair on my head came back like that. Anyway, the next thing I know, this guy's doing his back garden. I look out the kitchen window. There's your dad in front garden with his Strimmer. And he's strimming away.
Did he have a power Strimmer though, or was he going for the...
You know that thing we've got for doing bush?
Yeah.
Well done, by the way. I'm not doing a bush joke there.
Well...
You've learnt since yesterday.
No, I had to hold back.
So he got like the one we've got, the bush trimmer thing, that looks like one of them knives you had in 70s for cutting meat. But bigger.
So who had the bigger Strimmer?
I couldn't see the other one next door because we were behind sizeable foliage. So anyway, there were Strimmer wars going on in back and front garden, which is a lovely British sound, but maybe a little bit too much. So we prepared ourselves for a little trip to the beach, which is exactly the same walk as we're doing now. It's 10 minutes down road from your mum and dad's. I don't know if we've mentioned it before, but I'm not a beach guy. In Dubai, I think we've been to the beach once in about 3 years of late. And once I'm there, I don't mind it, but I need a chair. I don't do floors in any circumstances.
We all took towels and you took your chair.
Yeah.
You were like Queen Victoria, weren't you?
Yeah, well, that thing that Queen Victoria used to have, you know, where you wheel a little...
Yeah, where she got rolled out onto the beach.
It's called a caravan, I think, isn't it? But it looks like a gypsy caravan.
It was a changing room, wasn't it?
Changing room, yeah. I mean, the only upsetting thing about that is there is 4 steps up to it, and I don't like stairs either.
Very apt that her place of choice was right opposite you.
Yeah, we can see it. We can see the beach she went to.
Hey, we've missed a bit.
What?
Well, if you've been listening to previous travel ones, you'll know about my dad's septic tank.
Oh, yes. So this was the other thing that happened yesterday, innit?
Yeah, well, we all know it's been very full.
We've been not allowed to empty his bath water.
Yeah, and we've been having...
No showers.
Family baths. Anyway.
Yeah, I've been last in every time.
Yeah.
Wonderful.
Dirty water. Yesterday was the day they arrived.
And this is during Strimmer Wars.
Yeah, it was.
So you've not only got the sound of the Strimmers, you've got the man with a big pipe and a big lorry.
I went to hang out the washing and then obviously had to take it back down again because...
Well, it was a whitewash. I mean, you don't want splatter on a whitewash.
Yeah, no, makes sense. Stinky poo water all over it. But yeah, so they came, emptied it. That was another reason we kind of wanted to get out.
Yeah. So we're literally 2 minutes from the beach now. This is how long it takes to get to the beach and how long it takes to get back. I knew we weren't going to be down here for long, but if there's one thing you need to know about Lorra, you're a meticulous planner and packer.
Yeah, I do.
So I'm thinking we're literally just going to walk down here, mess around on beach for an hour or two, walk back. We end up with packed lunches. We end up with a bag the size of their bag we'd take for an overnight. No. Yes, we did.
No, I put up the three of us a towel because we'll happily sit on the beach.
Yeah.
And you took your chair. And then I just threw in...
Packed lunches.
Yeah, a little lunch for all of us, that's it. It's not a massive bag.
We didn't need anything, I don't think. But anyway, off we trundled. Beautiful day again yesterday, weren't it?
It was. It was windier.
The wind had picked up. On yesterday's recording, you remember, the sea was like a lake when we got down here. But yesterday we got down to the beach, perfectly sunny. A couple of wispy clouds in the sky. You can see pictures and videos on my Instagram, Catboy92. And we set up shop not far from the Bluebird Cafe that we often mentioned, Reedy's, which was actually open yesterday.
It was, yeah. It wasn't rainy though, sadly.
What a shocker. Another car. We're just coming to the top of the one-way system now, the triangle. And we're going to have this first view of the sea again in about 20 seconds. Anyway, set up shop on beach. I plonked my chair down.
Yeah, we had a blanket, the 3 towels.
And what a glorious sight, because there were about 4 or 5 kiteboarders, kite surfers, doing the thing. There was a few paddle boarders, a few people in dinghies.
The thing I was most impressed with was the amount of elderly people, shall we say, going into that sea, and it was bloody freezing, and they were going full on swimming up and down. Honestly, fair play to them.
Yeah, the wild swimmers.
Yeah.
Now, you got into a little thing with your dad about wild swimming, and he said this is not, but it is wild swimming.
It is.
Any swimming that you do in wild water is wild swimming, but I won't get involved.
No, I know, I do get that most of them have been in rivers and stuff, but a lot of people are using Cowshot Beach to do their wild swimming. So
there were some people swimming in wetsuits, but a lot of people just going in the bathers, and I'm not talking about covered in Vaseline either. They were just in, weren't they? Swimming away. Yeah. Betsy Pearl, our daughter, went in.
She did for a little paddle.
She put a toe in and just came straight back up, which was amazing. But she's what would you call? Is this the English Channel?
I assume so. I don't know.
I'm sure this has got a name being between us and the Isle of Wight. I know there's the Solent Estuary, and then this is... I don't know if this has got a different name, but to me it's the English Channel, it's the South Coast, so she did that. Leo, do you think he's still got that thing where he likes to impress me?
Well, I kind of missed the conversation, but then the next thing I see is that he's gone in and you're going, go on, further. Swim.
See, now we're doing this thing now. I'm trying to do a pot noodle version of manning him up, where I've not had a chance to do it over the years because we've not been here, and Dubai is a bit too sanitised to man somebody up, climbing trees, penknives. Conkers. So here, it's happening on fast forward. We're walking along the beach huts now, by the way. So he had gone down to the sea of his own volition.
Right.
And I think he just put his feet in, and then suddenly we're back up, towel wrapped round him. Hypothermia. Even though there's 90-year-old women in the bikinis swimming about.
Yeah. By the way, you missed it at the end. One of the ladies was getting changed after a wild swimming.
Yeah.
This little old lady, and she had her bosoms out.
The beagle's ears.
And Betsy was like, whoo, just saw that lady's boobies.
Do you see the father and son next to us who've been doing some wild swimming?
I thought that was really nice.
Lovely to see them together like that. And they went in a couple of times and they were reading the books and sunbathing. He's an old fella. I'd say you were about 70. The son might have been my age or slightly younger, but it was a lovely thing to see.
I also saw a guy and his dog
Yeah.
They went in, and he'd obviously come down just to do the same thing. Like, he ran in the sea, like, straight in. And the dog, I don't know if it was the cold or was more nervous, but he sat next to the shore barking at him. And then what the guy did is he was going full on under, so the dog thinks he was drowning.
Yeah.
And then it's like swims in to save him, but then has a little swim with him. And they kept doing it, and it was so lovely to see.
A happy dog, that, weren't it?
Yeah. Well, even the guy said, say hello, and they went over to Betsy and did the hello.
Yeah, it came bounding up to Beeps a couple of times. So yeah, Leo, he was talking about going in again and watching other people. And then I think the first time he went in, he'd not seen many people just in swimmers going in. And that might have spurred him on a bit. And I said, you know, the other day you told that story about saying you told him to put his big boy trousers on. I don't think you've told this story on here, but you said it to me. I kind of said something like that. I wouldn't have used your phrase. But I said, this is the new you, Leo. It's the new Leo. So it kind of spurred him on.
Yeah.
And he went and got in the sea. And, you know, men will understand this. I don't know if it's the same with women, because your packaging down there is a bit more enclosed. So I don't know if that kind of, in that situation, would close more, like a flower at winter.
Nah,
Well,
I don't think...
men's obviously protects itself, but it's still open to the elements. So he did that thing where he's going in, but there was a little bit of waves, and he's trying to jump over them to protect his balls. But you can't do that forever. Suddenly he got it, and then he's like turning around like he's coming out, and I went like that. Come on! And spurred on with a bit of dad pressure. He just dived in.
He went for it, yep.
He did about 3-4 breaststrokes, got up, straight back out.
And was shivering.
Yeah, but I'm very proud of him for doing it, I want to say that.
Well, I was shivering.
Oh my God, anybody who saw the pictures will know it was a British beach summer day. Everybody else is in the swimmers. Even I took my shirt off, which I never do because I'm ashamed of my body. I thought, I'm here, it's sunny, get a bit of sun, I'll whip my shirt off. And you've got as many clothes on now.
I was wrapped in towels. Yeah, do you know
look
what?
poorly, you look like you've been rescued.
It was the wind. The previous 2 days we'd had these beautiful sunny days and no wind. But then the day we actually get out and go to the beach, the wind has picked up, and obviously on the beach it's even cooler.
You guys just couldn't relax. We'd eaten the packed lunch within 15 minutes of getting there.
Yeah.
And I'm like, now can we chill out? I closed my eyes. Next thing, should we take him for an hot chocolate? And I'm like, oh, it's a sunny beach day, I'm not having a bloody hot chocolate.
Because I was freezing.
Off you trundled to the Bluebird.
Yeah, it was an odd experience.
Because this is your childhood cafe, which you what do we used to call them? Pretend auntie. A pretend auntie. Did you used to call her auntie? I thought you'd made out that she was a pretend auntie before.
Well, not for me, because it was... Oh, God, here's my daily sneezes.
You did 7 in a row. 7 in a row on yesterday's podcast. I left them in.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, she was my nan's best friend, so I guess to my mum, she was like the equivalent of what you used to call auntie.
Yeah.
But yeah, she always bought me Connect 4 every Christmas.
Yeah, brilliant.
But yeah, so obviously it wasn't her. She's no longer with us. So went in, you had to go in one at a time.
This is COVID.
Yeah. The prices were expensive.
Well, I bet that's changed a lot since you were a kid.
I think
Pre-decimalisation.
just English prices in general seem to have gone up quite a lot since we were here last. She just wasn't very friendly. The funny thing is, there were signs everywhere about, these jokey magnet.
The customer is not always right, that kind of...
Yeah, anyway, about the fact that you're probably going to get a grumpy service. So
Lovely.
But
That's the attitude you want.
Yeah, I just kept... And she was like, you do realise it's only cash? And I was like, yeah. So I was... I kind of didn't want to get them.
Well, you know what? She's getting no more of our hard-earned money.
I did think, I don't particularly want to come back here. So it kind of made me a little bit sad because I was excited about going in there. But anyway.
Decent hot chocolate, though.
It was nice. It warmed me up a little bit. Leo went for a coffee, and then guess what happened?
Well, coffee's the great loosener. And something we've not mentioned on the podcast before, but Leo is like Kenneth Williams, the old Carry On star, about his toilets. He don't like anybody using his toilet, and he will not use a public toilet.
Never ever.
Which, if you listen to yesterday's podcast, you and I are both, wild swimmers. We're wild weirs.
Weirs.
I mean, I'm a wild pooer occasionally, but we're wild weirs. He won't.
He used to come home from school and he'd hold it in all
He'd
day.
be pale. He'd look ill.
And he'd...
Because he'd been holding in a dump all day.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I kind of understand it, but I mean, Dubai toilets you could eat your dinner out of.
Yeah, and the dinner would be good.
Yeah. So I kind of understand it here, especially like beach toilets, but he wasn't having it. You know, as desperate as he was, so he had to leave us early and head on back.
So yeah.
And then you and Betsy went for a little trip.
Well, this was lovely. Left you in the chair, in Daddy's chair, which you look like a little old woman the way you were wrapped up in old towels. And I took Betsy for a walk down the beach, west along the beach. Now, once you get past all the beach huts, there are trees hanging over the beach, and there's a sign that says it's private property. And is it Cadman Estate?
Yeah, Cadland.
Cadland Estate, private property, care of the Cadland Estate. And it says it's a private beach. There are no fences, so we continued to walk along.
I think that's where the nudist bit is.
Apparently it's a little bit further once you get past where we were going. So we
How
saw...
do you know?
Your dad told me last night.
Oh, right, how do they know?
Well, he's a bit forthcoming with the dogger chat than your mum.
Oh, really?
She hides it better. Are we going straight down?
Are we?
Oh, we're just going to go to the end and come back.
Okay,
Do you want to do that?
we can.
So,
There's a gate here, though. I don't know if it's security to get through for the activity
it'll be
centre.
fine. Down this beach is a folly. Now, I know this is a weird thing to be into, but I really love follies.
You're a
I didn't
fan
know what
of
they
the
were.
follies.
I saw one talked about on a programme, and obviously I grew up going to places like Chatsworth House in Derbyshire when I was a kid. Went there quite a lot, and actually really loved the architecture and the buildings. Even as a little age, it just blew me away. Everything's like a castle, innit? It's like a fairy tale.
Well, we're the right pair, aren't we? Because you love your follies, and I love my old...
Royal history,
Yeah, and the houses.
big houses.
So we're going to be a right old pair.
Yeah, something to do when we move back, I suppose.
Yeah. National
So-
Trust card.
There's a folly a couple of 100 metres along the beach. It's up a steep set of stairs, and it's called Luttrell's Tower. You can look it up. Luttrell's Tower. It was built in 1780, and they thought it was one designer for many years, but it turned out to be a different designer.
Oh, really?
Yeah, but still a really famous architect. And you can actually hire it out on Airbnb and stuff. It's got a really nice house behind it. It looks like proper castle. It's like castle turrets, but the size of a detached house, and then a tower looming over it. Because it's prominent placing, it's at the top of these steps right on the edge of the beach. It looks quite imposing. It's beautiful.
Yeah.
But to a 9-year-old, I'm thinking, hello, got a bit of a story here. And Betsy likes a scare.
Well, I think you like to do the scare.
Yeah, but kids like it. Well, you saw a reaction. So we started walking along the beach, and as we started walking along the beach, the weather changed. Some
Oh,
clouds
yeah.
started coming in,
It went
right?
grey, didn't it?
So this happened. The timing was spectacular. And of course, you'll know from down there, as you pass the beach huts, the posh beach huts, you get to these trees that have been pulled towards the sea. So it's like just a little wood almost on the side of the beach on this really steep slope. But some of the trees have been pulled and have fallen due to subsidence.
Yeah.
So it's almost like they're telling you to stop. And
Yeah.
I got this into Betsy's head, and we had to do a bit of dodging. She obviously had to bend down and go under. I was making dad noises. So I'm saying to her, the trees are telling us to stop. And then as we approached, the beach disappeared to nothing. The tide's right in.
Right.
And the water is lapping up to the steps. This is really ornate steps and wrought iron gates, which again, very good horror film.
Yeah. It's setting the scene.
Yeah, we get to the bottom of these steps. So as I'm walking, I just make up this story. I said, there's a little girl your age. That's what you've got to do with a horror story. You've got to make it about them. And what's the scariest time in history for ghost stories?
Victorian times.
Victorian times. There was a little girl your age. She said, and Betsy straight me questions. When was this, Daddy? And I'm like, Victorian times. So immediately she's got that picture in her head. And I said, and her parents thought she was crazy. Back in those days, it weren't like it is now. If you have a problem, you go to hospital. She was locked in this tower. How long for? And I'm like, well, this is the thing. She got forgotten about and she was left there. And I never actually said that she died there or anything like that. You know, you've got to know your level on the horror story.
Pretty switched on.
No, that's good. I wanted her to paint a picture herself. So I said, she's looked in there, and I said, now we're really close to the tower then. I said, now here's the thing. People say she sometimes appears at the window in this tower, and they say if you see her at the window, she'll haunt you. Perfect. What a great bit of dadding. 5-star dadding.
And then the lady that owns the property suddenly appears and
then 2 70-year-old naked sunbathers came round calling me both themselves.
Is that true?
No. That's why we were so long chatting them up.
Yeah. I saw somebody on your Twitter actually said
about it being a naked beach.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Oh, well, it's not something I've, you know.
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
She was very brave.
There's people in their tents.
Yeah, we're down here, we're walking towards the activity centre in Calshot Castle now because going the other way might be a bit muddy today. So anyway, Betsy straight up the steps to the wrought iron gates, and she's looking up like that. She's not scared. I took some pictures and we did a little video, and she was enthralled by the story, and then she starts telling me the story but adding bits, right?
Yeah, creative.
And for the rest of the night she won't shut up about this story. She's telling everybody about it. She's expanding on it, and she normally calls, you know, bullshit on anything like this. She's so magic tricks you do to her, everything. She's so adept at calling you out. So anyway, wonderful.
It was.
What about this? A mysterious old man talked to us, and he was sat really close to it, and he went, "What about this weather then?" So I did the thing. Oh well, we're over from Dubai. We've just finished isolating. He probably just wanted a quick nod of the head.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're isolating. We've been locked up for 5 days, but here we are. It's first time out. Just taking her along to see the tower. But the weirdest thing, and this is no word of a lie, and he weren't like a ghostly old man, but an old man.
Yeah.
He was just packing his bag up.
Yeah. And then he was
There's only
gone.
2 ways to go around there, right? We walk along the 5 paces, look back, the guy's gone.
See.
He couldn't go in and see. He couldn't go up the hill.
Well, it was funny because Betsy started retelling all the ghost stories of our family, like that you are not convinced by.
Well, I don't believe in ghosts.
Well, I don't believe in ghosts as such.
I like a ghost story though.
But 100% one of them I was there for. I mean, once again, you'll call my mother a bullshit.
Because I got pulled up for this yesterday, didn't I? If you listen to this podcast and you know anybody we talk about, Laura's mum Gay, Laura's dad Dennis, anybody like that, I'm assuming Dennis listens to it, because every time I say something like I couldn't find a toilet roll, the next day he comes downstairs and goes, by the way, the toilet rolls, and tells me where they are. So he's getting all his information from podcasts. Your mum's not listening to it because
she got told she was a bullshitter by one of her friends.
Yeah, so I pulled her up. I said that she was a bullshitter. What do I call her? Premier League bullshitter?
Yeah.
For good reason. She came home yesterday and I said to her, Gay, I've been telling Betsy this ghost story, play along like that. And she looks at me in the kitchen, bit Larry David, and she went, oh, ghost story? And I went, yeah. And she goes, would that make you a bullshitter? And I was like, what are you talking about? Would that make you a bullshitter? What do you mean, Gay? My friends have been listening to your podcast. Apparently you keep calling me a bullshitter. Like that. So if you're listening to this podcast, you don't need to be reporting back to your mother-in-law.
It's good. And you know what?
She takes it all in good faith.
A lot of these people are people that have not listened to the podcast before, so it's
good stuff.
I think a lot more people in the UK
are
starting to listen. Oh, the castle's approaching.
Yeah, we're really close to the end of Calshot Spit now, which is an isthmus. I think that's what you call it. There's a peninsula, there's a strait, there's an isthmus, and you've got water on both sides.
Yeah, this is the
But they
end
call
of the road.
Spit as well. So we're almost at Calshot Castle now. It'd be nice to walk down here, actually. Yeah, Betsy was retelling the story.
Oh, the ghost stories, yeah. We won't tell them today, but one involved a pipe raising up. One is of a cat, and I forget the other one. But yeah, so Betsy, by the time it reached the evening, was
full ghost story mode.
Yeah.
Telling everybody.
And saying, I'm sleeping in your bed tonight, mummy.
But she came and sat on my lap, right. So last night we had a barbecue.
Yeah.
First day of freedom. Dennis, your dad, invited some family round who we've not seen for a while, so it was lovely to see them.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, the minute Dennis lit the barbecue, grey clouds came across the sky. It's spitting! And we stayed outside while it was spitting, but then it really started and really came down. I think we'll take the photograph down here today. So the photograph you'll see on the podcast today or
What's
on
that?
YouTube.
Is that a pub?
It's a lifeboat house, baby. It's not a pub.
Looks like a pub.
It'll be a good pub, a great setting.
Yeah.
I mean, who needs lifeboats?
Well, we did see them
Right.
out and about yesterday.
Had a barbecue. It started chucking down.
Leo got given a load of
Leo has scored this holiday.
like today. I think we might be planning on going to get some bits for his uni digs.
Yeah, we get the first hire car today. You come and stand on one of these rocks so you're the same height as me.
Oh,
I think you might be a bit big now.
bit big. Have I grown up?
It's a big rock. I want to get the seeing as well. You know what, let me try doing it like this. See what they look like. Alright, they'll do. So, yeah, we were going to get Leo some uni stuff today because we've got the hire car. A couple of the things we needed on that list were coats and winter coats. Something to cycle in, something to wear in the winter. So
Yeah.
Probably looking at a couple of £100 worth of coats. Within 2 minutes arriving at your parents' the other day.
Yeah, my dad gave him not one coat, not two coats, but three coats, and they were all different
Genres.
Yep.
A denim jacket, which he's never wore before, looked really cool on him. Waterproof, super dry jacket, which I was really envying.
Yeah.
And then a big winter coat, which looked like a decent snowboarding coat.
Yeah. No, he scored.
Yeah, so yesterday, now look, I don't get relations. I'd say they're your aunties. Is
Yeah, they are.
that what you call them?
I don't call them that. But
Dennis's sisters came round. Hinge and Bracket. What are the names? Hinge and Bracket. Anybody who's old enough is going to love that reference. Louise and Elaine and some of their kids, whose names I'm never going to get. And Dennis has obviously prepped them. They've got a son a little bit older than Leo. He goes through clothes like a dose. They turned up yesterday with our wardrobe full of clothes, right?
yeah, they did. Looks like they've hardly been worn. So yeah.
Now, this is all designer stuff. And I wouldn't say it's right up Leo's street. There were a lot of Lacoste shirts, a lot of barber clothes, a barber jacket that they wear on Escape to the Country, posh people.
Right.
I have seen football. I'm not saying your cousin's a football hooligan, but it is that kind of thing that the casuals wear on the terraces.
See, that one I wasn't so much of a fan of.
No, but you know when he put it on, I'm like, that'll keep
Oh no,
you
he looked
warm.
good. I loved the Parker.
He put a parker on. Leo's got this thing against parkers and furry hoods. And I'm like, just take it, because one day you'll put it on. He got like a Harrington jacket, that style. And he also got a bomber jacket.
Yeah. So
Every one of them look great on him.
I don't know if he's going to have a wardrobe big enough in his room.
He's going to have a lot of clothes and it's saving us a lot of money.
We tried some new vegetarian burgers and sausages that you can't get in Dubai.
So Dubai is getting better for veggie food.
Yeah.
You come back to England and you realise just how much stuff there
God, the
is.
selection. I think I'd 100% be a vegan if I lived here.
We looked through Tesco's yesterday because your mum were going to go and do some shopping for barbecue. And we had a look through Tesco's and it was like a toy shop at Christmas, weren't it? We were just going, ooh, sweet chilli bites, oh, amazing. Yeah, so we did the barbecue, and the reason it ties into the ghost story is I think Betsy Pearl was a bit nervous for some reason. She's normally bouncing around, but she couldn't remember anybody's names. She had a bit of a Trump issue yesterday.
A bit of tummy trouble.
So she came to see me and she would be really, you know when she's clingy?
Yeah.
She's sitting on my lap and being clingy.
Well, she's not normally embarrassed about doing the old trumps.
Yeah, not in our family.
No.
So she told me, she's like, comes up close to whisper, Daddy, I keep having to run to the bathroom to do a trump. And she says, no, I just run and done one. It was so loud, I think Nanny heard it through the wall. And I thought, well, it's nice for it to be going that way for a change.
Yeah, well, if anyone had been in our bedroom this morning and heard yours.
Yeah.
That was...
Mind that I did pointing towards wall, or the one you did when you lifted your butt
so
up
loud,
and did
I bet
it right
it woke
at me.
everyone in the house up.
I got my AirPods in.
Yeah,
Couldn't hear it.
Mine was probably stinky. Ding.
So we've turned around, we're walking back now, up the spit. Look at the chimney. Oh, look at the Knott chimney.
Oh, wow.
Forley Power Station chimney, which is a regular guest on the show, is all but shrouded in fog, morning mist. It's a very grey morning. It's not cold, 16, 17 degrees, but it chucked it down last night for pretty much the duration of the evening. And, the weather is bad for today.
It's a good job we're inside today.
Yeah. So Betsy Pearl last night, she's cuddling me and then she starts telling me the ghost story, and I wish I'd recorded it because she's right up close looking me in the eye like that, like sat on my lap. And she's telling it me like I've never heard it before. Daddy, there's a tower called Luttrell's Tower. And I didn't know what was going on at first, but she told the whole story, and I'll tell you what I might do. I might record her telling the story and put it out as a bonus podcast with some spooky ambience on if I get a bit of time to do some editing.
Yeah.
Because it's really cute.
No, she.
A teacher would love that, I reckon.
Yeah, no, she.
Oh, forgot to mention that.
Oh, she did a class Zoom or teacher Zoom whilst sat on the beach.
I mean, how cool, but also technology gone mad.
And what made it even better is, just coincidentally this year, her teacher is from Hampshire, where we are.
Yeah.
And we can see the area that she lives in.
Now, her teacher has not really got used to Betsy Pearl yet, and Betsy Pearl's often a little teacher's pet and quite a bright spark and...
Loves to chat.
Yeah, and her teachers have really loved her, right?
Yes.
But
yeah.
I thought that'd be really nice, so yesterday I took my AirPods down to the beach, she stuck them in, and she sat on the pebbles talking away to her teacher. I've no idea what got said, but I thought, how futuristic that you're having a pastoral meeting with your teacher on a beach 3,500 miles away.
Yeah, well, she's every morning she's doing her schoolwork, which is amazing that she's able to do that, which I don't know if pre-COVID times she would have done that, but yeah, it is, technology is a wonderful thing.
We had a mini tiz yesterday, again. It was in the morning. I don't want to go into details, it weren't nothing bad or anything like that, but it had that pressure of being within earshot of people, and I came up with a new phrase that I think you're going to like. We had a whisper argument. You know when you whisper shout?
The thing is, I don't think we were arguing.
No, it was just a bit of tension.
And I think, like you the day before had your cabin fever, and yesterday I couldn't relax, even when we were on the beach.
All day
and I love the beach. Yeah,
It was a bad day for you yesterday.
Yeah, I don't know what was up with me. Everything was irritating me yesterday, and
I got it, and all of the things were kind of legitimate, but a bit blown out of proportion. But we did that thing of going like that to each other. Let's do a recreation of it now.
What?
I've told you before, do not talk to me like that in front of your parents.
I don't like it when you speak to me like that.
But you started it. You said it first, and you always act like it's me that's upset you, but you forget that you might have upset me first. So that is how a whisper argument works. I don't know if it's the first time that phrase has ever been said, but I'm claiming it.
But that was like once or twice yesterday, and it wasn't really an argument. It was just a polite way of saying F off to each other for 5 minutes.
We needed to.
Then we were friends again.
Let off steam. That's about it for yesterday, I think. I reckon we can probably leave it there.
Yeah.
We'll see you tomorrow, everybody, or on the social medias. Love you lots.